So up to this moment, there were 6 votes for the speaker, and McCarthy lost them all. And he's not backing down, folks. Now stick with me in this video because we're going to go over Lauren Boebert asking Donald Trump to tell Kevin McCarthy to step down because he doesn't have the votes. We also have Boebert nominating someone who I think could actually win and who would be a damn good choice. And we also have Matt Gaetz accusing Kevin McCarthy of squatting in the speaker's office. But don't worry, we'll get through all this madness. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we are the antidote to the daily onslaught of radical woke Marxist propaganda. So the House resumed on Wednesday, holding the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds of voting for speaker. And Kevin McCarthy came up short each time. The opponents who are making him go short are not backing down, just like he isn't. Matt Gaetz of Florida and Andy Biggs of Arizona and Lauren Boebert of Colorado are just 3 who are outspoken and saying that they are a no vote now and forever. Now, the misinformation fake news media are going bonkers over this, saying that there's chaos in the House and that the people who are denying a speaker for the House are somehow denying democracy to continue. First of all, we are not a democracy. By the very nature of what is going on in the House right now, it is evidence that we are a constitutional republic. Though our country is a republic in the House, they are demonstrating democratic principles by standing up and saying, I don't agree with this vote. Until about 5 minutes ago, we were all allowed to do that. That is the democratic principles that the leftists say that we live under. But they don't understand that because they're stupid. If this were Democrats holding out against a conservative Democrat running for speaker, they would be praising them for their courage and bravery and the hard work to save our democracy. Every news outlet out there, just about, is repeating that the last time a speaker election went multiple ballots was in 1923. Well, maybe the last time that there were members of the House that stood on principles and said, we do not want the same old was in 1923. So at the beginning of the 5th vote for speaker, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado, she called on her favorite president, Donald Trump, to tell Kevin McCarthy that it's time to withdraw his name from running for speaker because he doesn't have the votes. Ready? Let's give this a listen.
So let's work together. Let's stop with the campaign smears and tactics to get people to turn against us. Even having my favorite president call us and tell us we need to knock this off. I think it actually needs to be reversed. The president needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes and it's time to withdraw. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
How about that, folks? She's got more balls than a lot of the GOP rhino men. So then Boebert nominated Florida Representative Byron Donalds, who is a member of the Republican Study Committee. I like this guy. I've done stories about this guy. This guy is a true blue conservative, and he would make a great speaker, even though he hasn't been there very long. But I like the guy a lot.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Colorado rise?
Madam Clerk, I rise to nominate Congressman Byron Donalds.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
I rise today to nominate Byron Donalds, my friend, an amazing man of Florida, an amazing leader, someone who almost even took leadership here in our Republican Party and came very close in doing so, and it was a very brave run that he took. He's a man who understands what tough times look like and has come out of those tough times even stronger, more liberated, and as a leader.
Now, President Trump issued a statement on Wednesday supporting McCarthy's bid for speaker, in which he said some really good conversations took place last night. And it's now time for all of our great Republican House members to vote for Kevin, close the deal, take the victory, and watch crazy Nancy Pelosi fly back home to a very broken California The only speaker in U.S. history to have lost the House twice. Trump then urged Republicans to not turn the Republican victory from the midterms of flipping the House into a defeat. And he's right about that. But there are certain people who are stepping up and saying that every time the Republicans take power, they get screwed over by rhinos and establishment types. McCarthy is the same way that Bob Dole was when he was the majority leader in the Senate. He is a deal maker, and he will screw over conservative Republicans in order to make a deal with Democrats rather than fight the Democrats for conservative principles to get something through. And there are many Republicans that are just as sick and tired of that. People worked very hard to get the House back. I'm talking about many millions of Americans across the country who worked toward that effort. I would say a majority of them would stand with these few people who are standing up to McCarthy. And then we have this. Breitbart did a piece. Matt Gaetz accuses Kevin McCarthy of squatting in the Speaker's office after the failed Speaker vote. Apparently, after several failed votes, McCarthy moved all his stuff into the Speaker's office. Look, how arrogant is this guy? He's not got the votes yet he moves it in. He's so sure that they're going to cave. And they're not caving. That's what it looks like. So it says here that there were 20 Republicans who voted against McCarthy, marking the first time since 1923, even Breitbart did it, that the vote for the Speaker had advanced past one ballot. Okay, fine. Gaetz, one of McCarthy's fiercest critics, led the charge against McCarthy on and in the weeks leading up to Tuesday's vote. Well, I say good for him. Look, remember, McCarthy took FTX money and used it to fund primary candidates to defeat Trump's picks. He can't be Speaker after that. He did other things as well. I mean, he stood there on January 8th, 2021, and accused Trump of well, he didn't say insurrection, but of what happened, the riot that happened on January 6th. He said that he had culpability, that he had some responsibility for it, and we're supposed to make him Speaker of the House? No. After the House adjourned on Tuesday without electing the Speaker, Gaetz wrote to the architect of the Capitol inquiring why McCarthy, who reportedly moved his items into the Speaker's office this week, occupied the office despite not being elected. God, you gotta love this crop of conservatives, these Freedom Caucus guys. They're not taking anything from the leadership because they don't want that leadership. It's that simple. This is democracy in action inside of the House of Representatives. They're standing up saying no. And guess what? We have the power to stop you. So God knows what's going to happen. I mean, McCarthy's not going to get the votes. I don't think as many that he needs is going to back down. I don't think so, unless he gives a lot of concessions that he doesn't want to give. And the concessions that he gives, they want in writing because they don't want to get screwed by him because he's that deal maker that tends to side with Democrats, if you know what I mean. All right, so that's it. Thanks for being with us. Check out the videos at the end. We'll see you in the next one.